The sport of MMA is fairly new. Back in the day, some freak show fights might be needed in order to gather some attention. With that being said, I'm Ben Cuevas from Watson Sports, and here are 5 outlandish freak show fights that you might not know. Gerard Gordo versus Tuin UFC 1. This was the first ever mixed martial arts bout that was featured on national television, and people weren't ready for this level of violence. When the Ultimate Fighting Championship started in 1993, it was style versus style. There was no weight limit, no time limit, and almost no rules. The first fight featured Gerard Gordo, a 219-pound Sabat fighter from the Netherlands, going up against the 438-pound Hawaiian sumo wrestler Tuin. Once the octagon cage doors were locked, Tuin charged towards the smaller Gordo. The Dutchman used Tuin's movement against him, stumbling the sumo wrestler towards the fence. Gordo kicked the down Tuin in the mouth, with one of his teeth flying out of the cage and the other tooth stuck in Gordo's foot. That match only lasted for 16 seconds, but it gave the rest of the competitors a realization that the UFC is as real as it gets. Gracie versus Akebono, K1 Dynamite 2004. In the early stages of the UFC, the fabled Gracie family sent Gracie to be the representative of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to prove the effectiveness of the martial art. Went on and did just that, despite being the smallest fighter in the group. Gracie won 3 out of the first 4 UFC tournaments, all using just his so-called Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Modern MMA rules were set in 2001, but that didn't stop Gracie from competing in another freak show fight in 2004 against Yokozuna Akebono, the first non-Japanese Yokozuna in the sport's rich history. K1 Dynamite was held in Japan, which isn't covered by the unified rules of mixed martial arts in the United States. Gracie went in at 191 pounds, while Akebono tipped the scales at 451 pounds. Gracie's jiu-jitsu proved that the best weapon in mixed martial arts once again, as he submitted the bigger Akebono in an omoplata shoulder lock in just about 2 minutes. Ikuhisa Minowa versus Butterbean, Pride Bushido 12, 2006. If there was a fighter known for his freak show fights, it was a Japanese wrestler. He has fought giants such as Giant Silva and Hongman Choi, both 7-footers. But the 5'6" wrestler out of Hashima, Japan, never backed down from any fight. Minowa's most skilled freak show opponent was the boxing champion Butterbean, who outweighed Minowa by 216 pounds on the night of the fight. Minowa used his wrestling moves from drop kicks to submission holds to catch Butterbean off guard, to the delight of the Japanese crowd. Butterbean had a limited skill set, as Minowa submitted the boxer in less than 5 minutes by armbar. Fedor Emelianenko versus Hongman Choi, Yarenoka 2007. Fedor Emelianenko is widely regarded as the greatest heavyweight mixed martial artist of all time. The Sambo specialist from Stary Oskol, Russia, spanned 10 years without a loss. What's most impressive about Fedor is that he's considered undersized for a heavyweight. In 2007, the 5'11" Emelianenko fought the towering Korean Hongman Choi. Choi was a 7'3" kickboxer who was one of the heavyweights attempting to defeat the fabled Emelianenko. The Korean kickboxer tried to use his size by grappling with the Russian, but it proved to be a tactical mistake. Emelianenko finished the fight via armbar in less than 2 minutes. The fight further solidified Emelianenko's mystique, which happened on New Year's Eve in Japan. Hongman Choi versus Jose Canseco, Dream 9 2009. Choi with another appearance on the list, this time with an unexpected opponent. The Korean giant fought decorated MLB legend Jose Canseco. The 6'3" outfielder was dwarfed by 12 inches and found out that his fighting style was no match to the more experienced Korean. Choi battered Canseco until Jose gave up from the barrage of punches in just 77 seconds. The fight proved that no matter how tough an athlete you are in your sport, fighting in mixed martial arts is a whole different ballgame. Those are 5 outlandish freak show fights that you might not know. I'm Ben Cuevas from Watson Sports. For more content just like this, head on over to watsonsports.com.